That's the one that's on the thing.
I'd like to call to order the July 8th meeting of the Shelby Township Planning Commission. Madam Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Dallow?
Here.
Ms. DeSico? Here. Ms. Poutros? Here. Mr. Meredith?
Here.
Mr. Turner?
Here.
Mr. Apone?
Here.
Mr. Flynn?
Here.
Chairman Moffett, we have a quorum.
Great, thank you. First item is approval of the agenda. If there
So
are no
moved.
corrections. Moved and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, approval of the minutes from the June 24th meeting.
So moved.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. This evening, we have three items, three site plans to review. The first one, site plan 19-09, Jason Longhurst for Victory Lane Oil Change. Is the petitioner here? Okay. So I'll need your name and address when you're done speaking, when you're done, sign in, and then just what are you requesting of this body?
Absolutely. My name is Jason Longhurst. I'm with Nowak and Frous Engineers. Our address is 46777 Woodward
You can
Avenue
make sure you speak into the mic, yeah.
in
Thanks.
Pontiac, Michigan. And we're here tonight requesting site plan approval for the proposed Victory Oil Change development here. With me tonight, I've got the project architect, the owners, and a representative from Victory Oil. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. We've gone through the submittal process here. We made an initial submittal, received some feedback from staff. We've made a revised submittal that basically addressed all of those comments, save a few of the more detailed engineering comments that we'll take care of on the next round of the construction drawing submittal. The site works out well. We've got a regional detention basin set up for us. We've got all the utilities are available. So we've basically tied in with all of those, got the site to lay out and work well, and we're here to answer any questions that you may have. If you'd like, I can bring up Derek to speak to the architectural and facade if you have any questions related to that. That's what we have.
Great.
My name's Derek Morose with Cityscape Architects. Our address is 40850 Grand River Avenue in Novi, Michigan. So I have a copy of the photometrics. I have a copy of the building elevation.
Tell you what, if you're gonna travel, you need to speak into the mic here. If not, just flip them and come back to the mic.
So I have the building elevations there. The base of the building will be the split face CMU. Then we have a tan brick above for probably a majority of the materials that we're using. And then up above we have a a tan ephes with a lighter colored ephes as accent. We have some accents over the overhead doors. Then we have a red color that is our pre-finished aluminum coping that will be at the top of the building and also will match the color of the Victory Lane signage and the little canopy we have over the entry.
Okay.
The building is approximately 2,200 square feet. And I can pull up the plan if you guys have any questions about the elevations.
Keep going.
So we have 3 lanes going through the building, and we also have a dumpster enclosure. The materials on the dumpster enclosure will be the same split-face CMU that's on the building, and the doors of the gates will be a steel frame with wood cedar infill that will be stained.
Okay. Planning directors, comments?
Okay, Mr. Moffett, we had done a preliminary review on this site. The proposed site is zone light manufacturing. Everything around it is zone light manufacturing except the parcels to the south, which is R1C, one family residential. This is a permitted use in the light manufacturing district, and Again, we pretty much vetted the site plans, and all the conditions have been met through the departments. The only issue that was left was the bumper blocks, and those are not permitted, so if you could just, when you resubmit, take those off the site plan.
Sure.
Some of the other comments, as you may notice, they're technical comments that are going to be taken care of during engineering review.
Okay. To the board, are there any questions of the petitioner? Commissioner Boutros.
Thank you. The location of the project sign, it seems like too close to the right-of-way. There is 21-inch sanitary sewer that's 25 feet deep. So if there's any repair to the sanitary sewer, the sign is going to be in the trench. Can we move it further north to get it away?
I believe the sign's located outside of the easement for the sewer.
Right, but the depth of the sewer, if you see it 25 feet, if I'm reading that correctly.
Sure. And I think maybe we'd be willing to enter into some sort of an agreement there. I don't think we want to pull the sign too much further back because there's a berm there. So if we pull it back behind that berm, it's going to obscure the visibility. So in the event that the sewer for some reason needs to be replaced, maybe we'll look into that as something that, we may have to deal with at that time.
Or
But I
do
think,
some sort of an agreement. I guess all I care about is the township expense. So if the township is going to repair their own sewer, they don't have to remove and replace the project sign.
Sure. And
So
I
if there
don't
is an
wanna-
agreement you can enter with the township, basically saying you'll be responsible for removing and replacing the sign.
You open to that? Is that-
So you don't believe that the township's easement is sufficient for
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, because it's 26 feet deep, the sewer. And then the easement looks like it's 5 foot away from the right-of-way. So you need at least
Yeah,
30
so
feet.
Okay.
we'd be open to entering into an agreement if, in the
Okay.
event that needed to be
Okay,
replaced, so we
I'm
would
good
deal with the
that
sign.
then.
Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Moore.
I move to approve site plan 19-9 for Gary Gavinsky for Victory Lane Oil Change Facility, parcel number 23-07-21-476-008, located on the north side of 22 Mile Road between Van Dyke and Shelby Road.
Support.
It's been moved and supported.
Should we say subject to getting an agreement with the township regarding the sign removal and replacement if there's any future repairs?
Okay with the motion
Yes.
maker, supporter?
That's good with me.
Okay. Any other questions on the motion? Hearing none. Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Turner?
Yes.
Commissioner Pone?
Yes.
Commissioner Flynn?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalu?
Yes.
Commissioner DeSico?
Yes.
Commissioner Boutros?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Good luck.
Great, thank you very much.
Next item, site plan number 19-23, Zonko and Elizabeth Tvdowski.
Good evening. My name is George Petkuski. I'm the architect on the project from 41 Shoreham, Grosse Pointe Shores, Michigan. Our client here is Zvonko Tevdosky, and he actually has a business about a mile away from the site, and he's relocating into his own building. The site is about 1.087 acres, or a little over 47,000 square feet. The lot size is about 378 feet long and 125 feet wide. The zoning is light manufacturing. To the north and to the south, the zoning is light manufacturing, but to the west, it's residential. So our front setback is 100 feet, the rear setback is 50 feet with a 50-foot buffer from the residential with a 6-foot high wall. The maximum height of the building is allowed 35 feet. Most of the building is between 25 feet and 29 feet. We have a tower on the northeast corner of the building, and the finial on top of the roof will reach almost 35 feet. But we have a control over the finial. We can make it a little shorter or make it exactly 35 feet. So we're not exceeding the height. We have 11,500 square feet of gross area, and the required parking is about 58 parking spaces. We're providing 59 with a loading space and a trash enclosure with 2 containers in it. We do have a landscape plan. We're landscaping the front of the building. We have landscape trees through the parking lot, and then, of course, we're adding evergreens and the landscape buffer in the rear towards the residential. There's a 8-foot concrete walk around the building. The predominant use is going to be retail of food and a bakery, and that's about almost 8,000 square feet. And then there's a remaining of 3,000 some square feet in the rear, which will be for lease. Whether we're anticipating up to 3 individual stores back there, or possibly 1, depends on the size that they would take. We do have a ground sign of 108 square feet, and it's set back within the perimeters, and we're providing outside concrete patio. A lot of our customers likes to sit down and actually taste the food that they're buying, because it's an ethnic European ready-made foods with a bakery, and a lot of times, they'll just want to sit down and have a coffee and try some of the things that are being made in the bakery, but it's not a restaurant. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay. To the planner?
Chairman Moffett, we also did some preliminary reviews with Mr. Petkowski on this plan. It is a permitted use in the light manufacturing district. He's met all the requirements. No variances will be needed. Minor details that are missing on the plans that I don't anticipate having any issues with. Department of Public Works has a few comments that, again, pretty minor. Engineering has some comments, also minor. I don't anticipate any issues with that. So I recommend approval.
Has the road commission looked at it? Did you say?
They have.
They have.
They have a minor comment as well. It was attached, should have been attached with your plans. But they had one comment on this.
To the board, any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Boutros first.
Okay. Is there any clearance between the building and the property line on the south side?
No, actually, that's a 0 lot line, and we're proposing a 2-hour fire-rated concrete block wall.
So the outer edge of the wall is right on the property line.
Yes.
You will need to have a temporary construction easement so you can build that wall.
Potentially, yes,
Okay. And you're gonna get it, right?
I would imagine. Our neighbors to the north have it. We don't anticipate intruding too much on their property to build a wall.
Yeah, on the north, but on the south side you will be because you need to build the wall. You'll
Right.
be on someone else's parcel. And detention for the site?
Detention is engineered, and I think you guys have a copy of the engineered
Township
plans.
engineer made a comment.
Right.
I looked at, I think the way you have it listed on the plan, you're providing detention in the parking lot, correct?
Yes,
The northern edge of the parking lot is about 2 foot higher than the southern edge. So you need to have level parking lot to have detention. So you're probably gonna end up having retaining wall where it touches the south property. So that, you'll work with the engineer,
Exactly.
just make sure that you
Exactly.
have detention.
yeah, detention is going to be underground,
So it's not in the parking lot, so it'll be underground detention.
yeah.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
Mr. Turner?
speaking of the neighbor to your north, and the question I have is, on your southern property, you have the elevation, I think is an all-painted masonry block building, right? On
Correct.
the south. The neighbor to your north has a brick wrap. I think it's Kitchen Expo. They have a brick wrap around of probably 20 feet going on the south side. I don't know, Ms. Missich, is that something we need on that building? I think it would look a lot better as you travel north on Hayes.
I agree. If it's visible, I think we should make it consistent with the building to the north.
Is that something you'd be willing to do to that southern elevation, just carry the brick around?
Yes,
Because
we would.
the other elevation looks fantastic, and I just think the southern wall is going to look boring in
I
comparison.
understand. Well, I guess the hope is maybe they could abut another building up against
Up to
us.
you, yeah.
But we certainly would consider putting the brick or masonry or some other type of ethos finish to finish off that wall.
Okay, rather than consider, you'd agree to.
I'm sorry?
You'll agree to.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Turner.
I move to approve site plan number 19-23 for Zvanko Tvdovsky Commercial Site, 49590 Hayes Road, subject to the submission of a revised site plan addressing all department and engineering comments.
Support.
Moved by Turner, support by Apone. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none. Commissioner Turner?
Yes.
Commissioner Apone?
Yes.
Commissioner Flynn?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalu?
Yes.
Commissioner DeSico?
Yes.
Commissioner Boutros?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. Good luck.
Thank you.
Site plan 19-26 Zeph Gauger, Biggs Country Oven. We have no petitioner.
Yeah, yeah, doesn't look like he made it.
You're welcome. Good luck.
The applicant is just proposing some facade improvements to the site. And actually, it looks really nice. The only thing that we had an issue was he uses some of that space on the south or the north side of his business for parking, and we're just asking him to, in the road right away, just to either landscape that or make it a more designated area and entrance to his business.
Yeah, I mean, I think what he's proposing looks nice and definitely an improvement, but the fact that for a long period of time they've been violating that easement, I would prefer he be in front of us to just answer that, yes, he agrees that that's.
Yeah.
So why don't we postpone this?
Postpone it? Okay.
I guess I don't even think we need a motion. We don't have the petitioner here, so we'll postpone this to the next meeting. Next item is Planning Director's Report.
Okay, Chairman Moffett, there was one item that came in last minute. It was for Taco Loco. Mr. Baez is looking to repaint the exterior of the building. He is remodeling the interior and would like the interior to match the exterior and give it a more Mexican ambiance. And he has proposed 3 elevations of the facade, color facade. So he prefers 1 and 2. But I would defer to you, and being that it's in the Shelby Center District, so close to that area, I would like to keep it consistent with the rest of the architectural features in that district.
We'll tell you what.
Mr. Chair-
Given that it's, it's Wimbledon season and, and I've embraced tennis, I think I'm gonna lob this one back to the planner to
Okay.
decide, I think which colors would be, unless there's a strong objection.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
I'll
Turner,
move to defer to the planner for the new color scheme for the Taco Loco restaurant.
is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
So, 1L. So, when we're complaining over the color scheme of the Taco Loco, the community now knows who
I know,
they
thanks.
need to blame.
Thanks,
So,
Jerry.
And there's no one in the audience, so no public participation. With that, Mr. Dalu,
Motion to adjourn.
is there support?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.